Hi, and welcome everybody to another edition of the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Podcast right here on the Winner's Circle Sports Betting channel. It's Friday, July the 21st. And once again, I'm joined by my guest, Mr. Jesse Schul and Sean Higgs. And folks, by the way, we're sponsored by gamblersworld.com and gamblersworld.net. The .com site is where you'll find all our great videos. Jesse does his own video every day, where he gives out a free pick, just a free pick video, which is about 4 to 5 minutes long, short, brief, and to the point. And then Sean does his Midday Money podcast that he's been doing for a couple of years now, very successful show, and we're lucky enough to have it at gamblersworld.com and then gamblersworld.net. Folks, check out this lineup, right? Us three, okay, that you're looking at right now: Ross Benjamin, Jesse Schul, Sean Higgs, Chip Chirimbus, Kyle Hunter, Mark Lawrence, Matt Fargo, Oskheim Sports, which is Jeff Keim, great handicapper, Paul Bovey, who will be starting with us during preseason football in the NFL, Rob Vincelletti, and that's a pretty good lineup, I would say, guys. No? How's it going, Jesse?
I'm feeling great, Ross. Everything's fallen into place. I feel like destiny is on my side right now.
Yeah, I feel like dancing after that, Sean. And I would certainly, and I could tell you one thing: I would pay to watch Sean dance, man. Do that jiggle, buddy. How you doing?
Yes, it'll be like the truffle shuffle out of Goonies. I'll be on there trying to get in.
Yeah, or
that's a throwback.
Remember the Icky Shuffle? Icky Woods.
Yes, Icky Woods. Yeah. I want to see how many people are going to go look up the truffle shuffle on YouTube after they watch this video from the Goonies, 1985.
There you go. Showing our
That's age. Your homework, Sean, folks.
I think I've seen that movie well over 100 times, watching it with the kids, so I don't have to look up anything.
I could watch that. That's, my son last time was asking me, he's like, "Oh, who's your favorite actor?" I'm like, I don't know if I have like favorite kind of actor. Something I have to like, I got to go watch this. But I like favorite movie. You have a movie that comes on, if it's on like TNT or some channel, that could sit and just watch it one time. I'm like, oh, Goonies on, I watch Goonies, or like Back to the Future. There's just some movie I can just sit and watch all the time, and go back and watch. Goonies it's a classic.
Absolutely. And
Ross is like, the Goonies. What is that about? You ever see the Goonies, Ross, or no?
I know.
I guess you never saw the Goonies.
No, man. I was a Jetson guy and
Jetsons
guy. I mean, I needed reality. You know what I mean? And even at an early age, but even though the Jetsons were a little bit off the top when it came to reality, but
they lived in outer space. What are you talking? They had a robot Rosie.
Yeah, guy goes
reality. It was my.
He goes in for a haircut. They had a machine. They spun him in a circle, and he was done. Yeah,
that was like a Floby back in a pre-Floby. Like the Floby.
Yeah, give me the Bowery Boys. Give me Alfalfa and Spanky. All I'm
Charlie Chapman, nice. No sound.
That's before.
Hey, Sean, I bet you Ross was real excited when TVs went to color.
Yeah. Oh, it was great. And then when it went from 3 channels to 4 because PBS came into play, it was like a big deal. Mm-hmm. So anyway, let's talk about more important things, and that's the world of sports betting. And we're going to do something different today. I'm going to give you a team total to play, and Jesse and Sean, they like to dabble into the props, and we're to break up the monotony, folks. Rather than just give you a free pick on a game, we're going to give you free picks, but both of these gentlemen are going to have prop plays for you, and I'm going to give you one game that or one team that I've honed in on that I like in terms of their team total today. So without further ado, Jesse, let's start with you.
All right, Ross, I hope you don't mind, but I got 2 props for you today.
I don't mind whatsoever.
Let's start with the big game. You got the first place Baltimore Orioles at the second place Tampa Rays, and this looks like it's got pitchers duel written all over it. Kyle Bradish, Zach Eflin. Eflin's got a 9-1 record in 10 home starts, but I'm looking at the K prop for Bradish, over 5.5 Ks, -115. When you think of Bradish, you don't think of a strikeout pitcher, but he's gone over 5.5 strikeouts in 4 of his last 5 games. And he has pitched against Tampa once this year. He struck out 8 in 5 innings. Tampa's struggling at the plate. They're They're striking out more than they have in the first half of the season, and they're struggling. And I like this hot pitcher of the Orioles to go over his K prop.
Yeah,
So
you know
that's my
what? And
first.
he's averaging 6.6 innings pitched per start over his let's see here, in recent starts. Okay. So he's giving you length. And if you're that's another factor too that I would consider, right, Jesse? Because the longer he's in there, the better chance he's got at strikeouts. So anyway, your second prop?
Exactly. So the next one is probably going to raise a few eyebrows. I know Sean is not a lover of my man Lance Lynn. The guy is 6-8 with a 6.06 ERA, but we're going over his strikeout prop. And as I like to do, I'm going to lay a little bit of juice here. It's over 6.5 strikeouts, minus 145. And the reason for that is Lynn, as much as he's struggled this year, he gets rocked. He gives up 5 runs. He still strikes out 9 or 10 in those games. As long as he goes 5 innings, he usually strikes out 7 or more. In fact, he's averaged 7 strikeouts per start. So this total today, 6.5, is below his season average, but he's in a good spot. He's facing the Minnesota Twins. It's their first game back home from a road trip, and they played last night in the latest game on the card. They got to travel, get back home. And the Twins, we all know, they strike out a lot. They lead the majors in strikeouts. So I think it's a good spot for Lynn. I feel really comfortable. As long as Lynn can go 5 innings here, he'll get his 7+ strikeouts.
I apologize if you mentioned this already, but did not Lance Lynn get 10 strikeouts in his last outing as well, if I'm not mistaken? And also
that was 2 outings ago. He had 11 versus Toronto.
Okay. And the thing about what you just touched upon, Jesse, about travel, Minnesota going from a couple time zones away with no rest and having to play. I like to call those situations tired bats. And when you see a team that had to play on the East Coast and the following day they're playing on the West Coast, even if they played an afternoon game, keep an eye on that, folks, because more times than not, those teams will not be very productive offensively in those types of situations. So all good stuff. And tell the folks once again, Jesse, your 2 picks and clarify again.
Okay, we got Bradish of the Orioles, over 5.5 strikeouts, minus 115. We got Lance Lynn of the Shy Sox, over 6.5 strikeouts, minus 145. We're going to lay the juice there.
Sean, any comments on Jesse's plays?
Minnesota Twins at home, 3rd most strikeouts in baseball. Tampa Bay Rays at home, 7 most strikeouts in baseball. There you go. Agreed.
And as usual, these 2 guys are aligned in their thoughts. Yeah, they don't talk beforehand, honestly, folks. We don't know what each other's picking beforehand. They just like to kiss each other's ass, or you can also term it as brilliant minds think alike.
He did ask me when I came in.
Mutual respect, Russ. Mutual respect.
When I came in, he's like, he goes, I hope you don't have to. I go, I got one prop today. He's like, I got 2. He's like, hope it's not the same prop. And I told him what I had. He said, no. So I didn't even know what he had. He even told me what he had. I told him what I had. He didn't tell me what he had.
I'm just joking with you guys. You know that. You know, we have to have some humor, boys, because we're very serious about everything else we do in this business, and rightfully so. And Sean, without talking about humor, we're going to bring on Mr. Higgs, and he's going to not humor us, but he's going to tell us what he's going to have today in terms of MLB proper props. I'm not sure if it's singular or plural, Mr. Higgs.
I have a lone prop, but I hope it's a plural winner here. So I'm looking at an RBI prop. You know, I like my RBI prop, and the Angels tonight facing a Pirates team, which kind of slumping. They're in a little bit of a rut themselves from their fast April. So Mickey Moniak, I think I'm saying his name correctly. I'm not sure. He's an M&M. He's not Mickey Mantle. Ross, we say M&M. We're not talking Mickey Mantle.
All right.
We're talking Mickey. This kid was the Phillies and the baseball's #1 draft pick a couple years ago. Traded him for Brandon Marsh last year. He's been red hot at the plate. Even on the season, 321 on the season, 11 homers, 33 ribbies. Comes in right now on a 10-game hit streak. Not too shabby. 8 RBIs his last 8 game. Plus 170 over at BetMGM. I'm grabbing it. I'm great. You know, simple here. You got a guy in a hit streak. I got a guy hitting over 300. He's got 11 homers and not a ton of bats. You know, they're kind of just letting him kind of play now. Yeah, and I know people like home run props more. People are like, oh, it's, you always get the little dinger props come up on for all the sports books. And I like the Ribby 170 for a guy who batted cleanup. Yeah, I'll take a 170 on a guy. 10-game hit streak, 300 average on a year, what's it at? 429 last 2 weeks. Pretty steady Freddie for me. Ribby plus 170.
1 RBI plus 170 for not Mickey Maniac, which there's a couple guys in our industry that could be termed that way, but Mickey Maniac. And he just absolutely crushed the Yankees over in that 3-game sweep. Jesse?
I'm embarrassed, guys, because I'm not as familiar with this character as you guys are. So I think Sean made a strong case. I'm going to have a closer look at the Angels lineup because this guy is somebody who I'm not really that familiar with.
Yeah, I mean, he always makes a strong case, Jesse. If he's the modern day Perry Mason.
I have a Mickey Maniac signed auto here, rookie.
Look at that. How about that, man? Isn't that convenient?
There could be some bias at play now.
He's opening up them box of cards every day, for crying out loud. He's probably got everybody in the majors all lined up and ready to queue up.
Can we go? How about here's one for you. Al Hrabosky, the old Hungarian nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
An oldie, but
the guy used to talk to himself on the mound. So anyway, Jesse, you already commented on it. Anything further you want to add? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I think I'm ready to hear what you got, Russ. I'm looking forward to your pick.
Again, it's in the same game. Pittsburgh in the Angels game that will be played in Anaheim tonight. And I'm going to look at a team total right now. The LA Angels team total is 4.5. This is an Angels team, even without Mike Trout, has been hitting. They're averaging 6.7 runs per game over their last 7. And that's been prompted a lot by they've smashed 13 home runs in their last 7 games. They've scored 5 runs or more in 6 of those 7. And the only other time that they didn't reach the 5-run barrier is when they scored 4 runs in the other game. So this is a team that's been scoring, hitting, and hitting for power. They're going to be facing Johan Oviedo from the Pittsburgh Pirates. And his last 3 starts, a 6.75 ERA, allowing 4 home runs and 18 2/3 innings pitched. So again, I mentioned LA's on a nice power hitting run as well, 13 home runs over their last 7. And Oviedo has been prone to give up the long ball over his last 3 starts as well. Pittsburgh had yesterday off. It's the 15th time this season they will be going into a game with a day off. And the previous 14 times that's happened, they've allowed 5.9 runs per game. And actually, the last 6 times that's happened, they've allowed 6.5 runs per game. So coming off a day off, they don't, for whatever reason, they're not getting very good pitching. Their bullpen is up and down, erratic, suspect. I think their ERA over the last 7 is somewhere around 4.5, which is not horrible, but it's not great by any stretch of the imagination. And one other thing, since July the 1st, the Pittsburgh Pirates are allowing 6.3 runs per game. Guess what I'm doing, Jesse? I'm taking the LA Angels over 4.5 runs. What do you think of that?
I like it, Ross. It reminds me of a play that I gave out on this show not too long ago. I have the feeling that Ohtani gets a ton of run support. It's sort of anecdotal, though. I don't have the stats in front of me. If somebody knows where to look that up, I'd be interested. But it certainly feels like the Angels give him run support. They get up for his games.
Yeah, I do have that in front of me. I do have access to that, but I'm not going to hold everything up right now to take the time. But if the next podcast, if I remember, I'll certainly share that information. And we'll see what happens tonight, too. I might not want to talk about it at all if they don't go over 4.5 runs. Mr. Higgs.
6 out of his last 10 starts, they've gotten over 4.5. 2 of them, they got 4 runs in. So,
yeah.
But you also have the Pirates who are coming in. They are on a ridiculous. I said they're playing bad. And you mentioned you're giving up 6 runs in July. Well, it makes sense because they're 3-12 their last 15. So,
yeah,
why wouldn't I like that?
6.3 runs per game in the month of July.
3-12 record here.
Yeah,
and he had an All-Star break. It's the 21st, and we had 5 days off for the All-Star, right? Monday to 4 days. Yeah. So 3-15, 4 off days that we know of. They might have a day off in between. So
their starting pitchers were giving up runs to the family in wiffle ball games in the backyard. That's how bad they've been. So anyway, Jesse, tell the folks what you may have coming up over at your site and at gamblersworld.net.
All right. Well, I'm excited about a couple plays today. I've got a 10-star total going in Major League Baseball, and I've got a total in the CFL available both at jesseshul.com and at gamblersworld.net.
There you go, folks. One of the finest handicappers you'll find anywhere on the internet, along with Sean Higgs and myself, the whole crew that we have over at gamblersworld.net. You know what the good part, Sean, is about gamblersworld.net? If you don't make a profit by our grading system on either a single game, multi-game daily package, or all subscriptions of 30 days or less, they're going to get credited the exact amount of the purchase price. So I think they should buy a $399 monthly package from Sean Higgs. You know why? Because he struggled over the last few days. But I'm telling you, folks, when that happens, beware, because he's coming like a lion, roaring and winning. So there you go. How about you telling us, Sean, in your own words, what you're going to do or what you have going on?
Yeah. So, I just seem to be hitting like 1 and 2s. And I'm getting dogs. I had the Orioles yesterday. I'm just hitting a wall. What am I going to do, folks? I have a lot of games. I get streaky with the games. And when we lose a couple, we lose a few. But I do got a 3-pack up, looking to bounce back today. And honestly, I don't know if I'm just more getting into football now. Like usually I usually thought I could come attack a bunch of baseball games, but I'm kind of easing back because I'm having a rough month, and I'm also concentrating on college and NFL. You got to get ready for the football season coming around. We're 2 weeks away from Hall of Fame game. So
yeah. And that moron that was on an anti-Sean Higgs crusade early in the week. By the way, Mr. Moron, he's hit his last 3 free picks on this channel. I haven't heard from you since. Why is that? Anyway,
somebody was giving me the gears the other day. I noticed.
Yeah, well, you know what? One guy, I took down the comment because it just doesn't create positivity amongst the group. But he said, "Thank you, guys. I've been fading you every day." Let me tell you something. Let me give you a word of advice, pal. If indeed that's what you're doing, you'll be in the welfare line pretty soon. Okay, so keep it up, and all power to you. You want to fade us? Do it at your own risk. I'm telling you.
I mean, how have we gone like 1 and 2 often on here?
Well, yeah, it's been sort of, we're below 500 over the last probably 8 days or so. And that's going to happen. Okay. We went 1 and 2 on the last podcast.
I've said this before. I don't think you should leave the comment up there. It's fine. It's fine. We put them up every day. So you got to take them sometimes. If it's like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, again, to me, that's an attack on you personally. And I don't allow that to happen. But we can't, if you disagree and say, sorry, Jesse, like I've saw this week, sorry, Jesse, I respect you, but I'm on the other side. And he's adamant about it, and he ended up being right on that occasion. A certain gentleman on there. That's being respectful. You know what I mean? That's you don't go on and say, look, I'm watching your podcast every day because we're fading you. Well, how come you didn't make this comment when over
we're like 67%?
Yeah, we were over 60%. No, I didn't hear you saying that then. And were you fading us then, pal? Yeah. Anyway. Let's keep it positive. I went 2-0 yesterday, by the way. I had 2 totals, the Cincinnati game under and the Milwaukee game under. Cashed in very easily on both of those. So starting to create a little bit of momentum in Major League Baseball. You could find me at gamblersworld.net. You could find me at rbwins.com as well. All my premium paid selections. Folks, don't forget, gamblersworld.net. That's our sponsor. That's where you could find all of our picks. I named off the roster, us 3, 7 other great handicappers as well. And once again, folks, we guarantee all our packages daily, whether it be single game, multi-game, 3-day, 7-day, or 30-day packages are all guaranteed. If you don't make a profit according to our our system, grading system, you get your credit to your account for the exact amount of purchase price you just made. And Jesse's going to tell you how we rate our plays.
How we rate our plays or how we smash the like button?
No, how we rate our plays at
okay, well, 5-star top plays, 4-star plays, 3-star, and we occasionally have a really rare 10-star play, I believe.
Yeah, boy, oh boy, did he butcher that. Anyway, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 10-star plays. We get 6 5-star plays or 5-unit plays, I should say, 5-star, whatever you want to term them as. We get 2 10-star or 10-unit plays per month. So we nobody is giving you 10-unit plays to play every day. We grade them based on $100 bet per unit. And that's how our grading system works. So boy, oh boy, Jesse, that's the last time I'm going to ask you to do any kind of promo, especially if you're not prepared. Anyway, love these guys. Great show. Once again, boys, appreciate all your efforts, and we'll see you the next time, which may be tomorrow. I got to discuss that with you after the show. But until then, before we leave, and Sean corrects me, Jesse, what do we want to do with that like button?
We want to smash it.
Smash that like button. And also, don't forget, you're watching this show because you're interested in sports betting. There's a WC button right there in the bottom right-hand corner of the show. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that WC button, subscribe. It's absolutely free, no strings attached, and no obligations whatsoever. You will be privy, though, if you hit your notification bell once you subscribe, to being alerted immediately upon any of our Winner's Circle sports betting podcasts going up on our YouTube channel right here. Till the next time, for Mr. Jesse Shule and Sean Higgs and Ross Benjamin, we'd like to wish each and every one of you all the very best. Take care and God bless, folks.